Our next inductee comes from the athlete category. A 2-time Olympian, 10-time Canadian senior medalist, 3-time senior national champion, 8-time Canadian world team member, winning 8 medals on the ISU Grand Prix, taking 4 titles, 1 silver and 3 bronze. The unique, the one and only, Emanuel Sandhu.
These are athletic accomplishments for Emanuel, but there's so much more that goes into this intriguing journey and story of this athlete, artist, and entertainer. He started classical ballet at the age of 3 and was clearly on the pathway to the stage, into classical ballet and dance. We will circle back to that a little bit later in his career. Although he started ballet at the age of 3, he did not start skating until the age of 7. But the 4 years of ballet up to that point prepared him well to adapt to our sport. Question was, would he like it? And right there with his smile, I think he did.
He joined the group classes and immediately stood out, mostly because he was hogging the attention of the coaches by skating around them and showing off.
A perfect start, as any coach would want to see that attention-seeking desire in a skater. Annoying maybe, but an important ingredient to any skater. Emanuel also participated in gymnastics and swimming, but it was on the frozen surface that he felt most comfortable and personally intrigued. And so it began. I asked Emanuel about his first lessons with Joanne McLeod, his career-long coach. I asked him what he liked about Joanne. And immediately, he said, she just made skating so much fun. I could not wait for each lesson. I would always skate close to her so that she could see what I was doing.
When we asked Emanuel why he chose skating over ballet and dance, he said he talked about the pure freedom of movement and speed across the ice, which you can't get on the stage. He loved the discipline and routine of ballet, but when it came to freedom, that was the ice.
He talked about the individuality of skating as he continued our conversation about having an independent streak. You think? And this sport allowed and encouraged him to become, and I love this phrase, he said it, a curious explorer. Those 2 words, curious explorer, really struck me while speaking with Emanuel. What I loved about our discussion was Emanuel's ability to so openly and honestly reflect on who he was and who he is now, and the different stages of his life's journey so far. It was fascinating, and now to a much higher degree, I understand how intelligent this man is.
Emanuel started his international career in 1997 and finished in 2013. That is 16 years of growing up through the intense and relentless training, choreography, competitions, good performances, poor performances, and great performances. With that comes the highs and lows, and as with every high-performance athlete, it can be a roller coaster. He traveled this road, always with Joanne.
Tracy, 16 years of costumes and programs, and I asked Emanuel what was his favorite costume, so I have a game for you. Here's a look at 8 of his 32 costumes over 16 years. His favorite is one of these 8. Now, I want you to analyze and carefully pick which one you think was Emanuel's favorite.
His favorite.
Yeah,
okay, I know my favorite right now, bottom right corner.
Okay, the blue and black.
I know Scott Moore likes the top right. Okay.
Scott's.
You guys? Anybody? Which? Pink. Pink.
How many say pink? Okay. How many say blue? There's a lot of blue out there. Okay. Here we go. Let's do the reveal. This is the one that wins. Emanuel's favorite. Yeah, there you go. I asked him why that costume, and he said because no one was wearing that hot pink color, number 1. Number 2, that costume was so difficult to build and to sew. The black straps were restricting, and they had so much work to do on it. He felt different. He felt noticed. He felt special with that costume.
Emanuel has been involved in so many special moments. Let's go through a bit of his journey. If we remember back to 1998, first year senior, Emanuel was second to Elvis Stojko. Canada had 3 spots for the Olympic Games in Nagano, having won junior nationals the year before and now senior silver medalist. One would think it a no-brainer that Emanuel would go to the Games. After all, Canada had 3 spots in the men's event.
And I'm going to back up just a second, that Emmanuel's favorite program, I asked him about that, and he said it was Kama Sutra. And I said, why? He said, because that was my very first senior program. I was so proud of becoming from a young boy to a man in senior event, and loved the program, loved the costume, loved the music, and you got to love the skate. There's no question. Going back now to 1998, there was a big controversy around this Canadian Olympic Committee decision, and they did not feel that he had enough experience. He was too young, 17 at the time. So Skate Canada, led by David Dort, CEO, appealed the decision and pleaded to the COC to let this young, very talented skater represent Canada. And COC did not change their decision. And so for Elvis and Jeff, Langdon went to the Games, and Canada did not fill the 3 spots. Certainly, no question, a low point in this young man's career, but much more was yet to come.
1998, a very emotional and disappointing time for skater, coach, and the organization. But Emanuel had sent notice that better days were just to come.
Now let's go to a great moment. We jump 3 years into Winnipeg Nationals 2001, the Jewel. The highly sought after reward coming from Nationals would be a trip to the 2001 World Championships here in Vancouver. In Winnipeg, we saw quite the battle, where we saw some brilliant skating by Emanuel and some wonderful sportsmanship by another gentleman here in the audience, Ben Ferreira. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
After the short program, Ben Ferreira was first, Jason Denomie of Quebec in second, and Emanuel in third. You could feel the tension and excitement. I remember it well. At stake, a trip to Worlds here in Vancouver, an amazing opportunity. Jason skated first, followed by Emanuel, and then Ben.
Here are some of the highlights we will not speak over. You just watch of Emanuel's program, Ben's response and class. It was a great moment for our sport and a credit to these 2 gentlemen here tonight. Take a look. A lesson in great skating and a lesson in great sportsmanship, and such an honor to have both these gentlemen not only here tonight, but working in BC as well.
Emanuel and Elvis Stojko, who was recovering from injury and did not compete at Nationals in Winnipeg, moved on to represent Canada at the amazing 2001 World Championships right here. Emanuel was 16th after the short, but once again was brilliant in the free, coming 5th and ending up 9th overall. 2001 was a jewel in his career.
After Emanuel's career ended in 2013, he went back home and reconnected with his dance community his family, and his friends. And then he auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance. And a new phase of life began, and maybe in some ways the most difficult, the most challenging, but perhaps the most important and rewarding in this young man's development as a dancer, as a skater, as a leader, and as a person, as we watch the beautiful work of Emanuel and his partner, and So You Think You Can Dance. And quite a journey through the years on that brutal show of the effort. And Emanuel talks about working to 2 or 3 in the morning and getting the numbers ready. And here you can see his hand was broken and having to do the lifts and having the judges in front of millions of people analyze you as a dancer and as a person. And that is revealing, and that is difficult, and that was life-changing.
Emanuel's dance and skating training made him a perfect candidate for this show. You see the work on the stage, it was wonderful, captivating, showed his talent. But as Ted said, along with that came the judges' comments. And in some cases, those can be the greatest value and feedback one can receive, not only about one's work, but also about one's character. It can be sobering and thought-provoking. We've all gone through such moments, and it is these that often impact our future the most, moving us forward.
I've had an opportunity in the last while to get to know Emanuel better, as an adult and as an equal. And I watched him teach at a seminar on the ice each day. I've watched him, and I've been so impressed with his attention to detail and to the students and to the fun approach, in addition to his ability to demonstrate. He's intelligent and thoughtful, and it was quite often that most talented skaters, not all, but many talented skaters do not lend themselves to become top coaches. But I believe in this case, maybe it's an exception. Next chapter is yet to come.
Such an interesting journey, such an intriguing athlete. It is our great pleasure to induct into the Skate Canada BC Hall of Fame the curious explorer, the dancer, skater, competitor, the entertainer, the coach. Please welcome Emanuel Sandhu.
And a great picture the other day was Scott working with Emanuel on his edges on the class. It was awesome. It was awesome. Emanuel, do you want to say a few words in a second? You don't have to, but you can.
Okay, I'm like super nervous because it's not usually what I do, but I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been in my life since I was such a young kid. They're sitting over there at the table. Thank you, Joanne McLeod, my longtime and forever coach. Thank you to everybody, skaters, parents, and everybody at Champs. And I just want to say thank you, Ted. You've known me for such a long time and have supported me. It's really great to have Tracy here as well as my friend Scott, who I love as a human being on and off the skates. And I just want to share this with everybody here in this room because we are a skating family. And I couldn't have done this without your support. I couldn't have done this by myself, and it takes a village, so I share this with you. Thank you so much.